A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant shift in fiscal policy, Chancellor Rachel Reeves has unveiled a £26 billion tax-raising budget aimed at addressing the pressing economic challenges facing the UK. This budget, which has already sparked intense debate, includes the scrapping of the controversial two-child benefit cap and a reduction in energy bills funded by a new mansion tax. The Chancellor defended her approach, asserting that everyone must contribute to restore public finances, while placing a greater burden on the wealthiest households. The backdrop to this budget was marked by chaos, as key details were accidentally released ahead of schedule by the Office for Budget Responsibility, OBR. Despite this, Reeves stood firm, stating her commitment to avoiding reckless borrowing and maintaining fiscal responsibility. However, her measures are set to push the tax burden to an unprecedented 38% of GDP over the next 5 years. A staggering 1.7 million workers will find themselves paying tax for the first time or being pushed into a higher tax band due to a 3-year freeze on income tax and national insurance thresholds, which is projected to generate £12.4 billion by the 2030-31 fiscal year. This freeze is expected to affect many in the so-called squeezed middle, including nurses, teachers, and police officers, who will now be subject to higher tax rates. The OBR's analysis revealed that the threshold freeze would result in 780,000 additional individuals paying the basic rate of income tax, while 920,000 would be pushed into the higher rate. Another 4,000 people will be subjected to the additional rate, signaling a significant shift in the tax landscape for many working families. In her budget announcement, Reeves introduced several measures targeting wealthier households, including a new council tax surcharge for properties valued over £2 million and a 2p increase on income derived from dividends, savings, and property. Additionally, contributions to salary sacrifice pension schemes will be capped at £2,000 starting in 2029, generating an estimated £4.7 billion annually. Reeves, addressing concerns about the impact on working families, insisted that her budget aligns with Labour's manifesto, stating, "If you read the manifesto, we are very clear, but if you are asking does this have a cost for working people, I acknowledge it does." The OBR warned that the tax increases and freezes would negatively affect living standards, with real disposable household income expected to rise by only 0.25% annually over the forecast period, a stark contrast to earlier predictions. Despite the mixed reactions from Labour MPs, many praised the Chancellor's decision to allocate £3 billion annually to abolish the two-child benefit limit, a move that is projected to lift 450,000 children out of poverty. Reeves emphasized her commitment to not penalizing children for their circumstances, receiving applause from her party members. To combat inflation, the Chancellor announced a series of cost-of-living measures, including the removal of green subsidies from household energy bills and a freeze on rail fares. The Treasury indicated that these changes could lead to an average reduction of £150 in energy bills starting next April, providing some relief to families struggling with rising costs. While some Labour MPs hailed the budget as a leftward shift, others expressed concern about the underlying weaknesses in the economy. Critics argued that the budget failed to address fundamental issues and merely delayed the inevitable reckoning with voters. One minister remarked, "This buys them a few months with backbenches and bond markets, but cements dissatisfaction with my voters." Reeves also announced a change in the OBR's assessment schedule, which will now occur annually during the autumn budget, a move aimed at avoiding further instability. The OBR's revised economic forecasts predict average GDP growth of only 1.5% over the next 5 years, indicating a slower recovery than previously anticipated. Additional revenue-raising measures included a £1.1 billion increase in taxes on online gambling and a 3p per mile levy on electric vehicles. Although the Chancellor extended the previous government's 5p cut to fuel duty until next summer, she indicated that rates would begin to rise again in September. The financial markets responded positively to Reeves's budget, with yields on 10-year government bonds dropping as traders reacted to the news. Analysts noted that the Chancellor's plans were heavily backloaded, with borrowing expected to increase over the next 3 years before tax rises are implemented towards the end of the Parliament. Ruth Curtis, CEO of the Resolution Foundation, acknowledged the positive steps taken to alleviate the cost of living, but echoed concerns regarding the long-term implications of the budget. She cautioned that economic conditions could change dramatically before the proposed fiscal repairs take effect in 2028 and beyond. In her address to Parliament, Reeves acknowledged the potential for negative media coverage, but urged her colleagues to effectively communicate the budget's benefits to the public. She stated, "We have to win the argument for the budget, and that is what we must now do." The opposition leader, Kemi Badenoch, dismissed the budget as a benefit street budget, accusing Reeves of making ordinary citizens pay for her government's shortcomings. Meanwhile, the revived Tribune group of MPs within Labour praised the budget as a demonstration of Labour values, calling for future tax reforms to focus on fairness and sustainability. As the political landscape continues to evolve, the implications of this budget will undoubtedly be felt across the UK, with both supporters and detractors closely watching how the measures unfold in the coming years. The Chancellor's ability to navigate the complexities of public sentiment and economic realities will be crucial as she seeks to solidify her position and lead the party forward. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.